Alrighty, everybody, got your crash helmets, you got your landing pads, got your knee pads. Yoga is a combat sport. Well, welcome everybody. Let's go ahead and begin. We'll start in mountain pose. Beginning our practice here. And just continue to make your full arrival in the space. You might take a few deep breaths. A nice full inhale to fill up your lungs. Maybe an exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Maybe circle the shoulders. Just check in with your body. A little stretch through the neck. Just work down your body. Check in with your back and your hips, knees and your feet. Just noticing how you're feeling today. Continue with your slow, steady breaths, certainly breathing in a way where you can feel your breath as it moves through your body. And again, you might move along with the flow of the breath as you're still checking in with how you're feeling today. Listening to the sound of your breath. Just two simple things just to be more present and connected. Good. And just to add a little bit more awareness to your breath as you inhale, just feel the breath rising upward to fill your lungs. Also experience the lengthening of your spine and grow taller. Then as you exhale, just pull your belly button in towards your spine as you connect to your center, creating the abdominal lock, engaging the abdominal muscles. Again, a breath in, feeling the lengthening of the spine as breath rises to fill your lungs. Nice expansive breath. Then the exhale, that gentle pull from center, connecting inward. Just hold on to these sensations. Allow them to help you to be here in the moment. And soon breath will guide you through your practice. Just take 3 more breaths, using these breaths to prepare your body to move. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. A nice reach sensation. Stretch all the way up. Good. Exhale, we'll fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Modify this fold if you need to. Maybe your hands land at your shins. You don't have to touch your toes here. Inhale and slide your hands up the legs so you can extend your spine. So you're only rising halfway. You can hold here on the exhale or fold back down towards your toes, just to start to feel a stretch through the backs of your legs, even down through your back. Maybe even releasing your head and your neck, your shoulders, just hanging heavily forward if that feels okay to you. And even here, yes, add movement, maybe some more circles through your shoulders, a little sway of the upper body. Nodding yes, shaking your head no. Still aware of the breath, audible breaths, the flow of the breath. Let's return to that halfway lift. As you inhale, just slide your hands up to your shins or knees, only rising up halfway. Let's plant ourselves here for a moment. Just feel the feet root into the earth, nice and solid and strong, keeping a softness or a slight bend in the knees. The fully extended spine, parallel to the floor. Let's continue standing, so shifting your weight back into your heels so your toes feel light. Bend your knees to lower your hips, maybe taking your arms out to the side, then inhale and reach all the way up. Draw that straight line in the body. As you exhale, you bring your arms back down to your side or bring your palms together and down to your heart, finishing our half salute. Yeah, a little movement there if that feels good. Let's do that same sequence again, just moving at your own pace. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up. And exhale, leading with your heart. Fold forward again with soft knees. Modify the fold if you need to. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending your spine, rising up halfway. Exhale, stay here or fold. Same weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees to lower your hips like you're sitting down. Lifting chest, extend your arms. Then inhale, reaching up, energy in your fingertips. Exhale, arms to your side or hands together and down to your heart. Finishing that flow. Take another breath. Still checking in. Just a reminder, this is your practice. Move in the way that you need to move. Modify any poses. We're going to be focusing on crow pose, working our way towards that hand or arm balancing posture. Let's continue our movement. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Feel the lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, we'll fold forward. Always okay to bend your knees as you make your way down, releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, rise up halfway. The top of your head leads you forward for that full extension. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough so you can place your hands on the mat out in front of you. You can walk or step or even jump both feet back to the back end of your mat. We'll be in plank pose, this high push-up position. Let's hold here for a moment. Feel the energy and strength in your upper body, starting by pressing firmly into the mat. Even feel like you're trying to push yourself away from the floor. Nice, strong, straight arms. Let's take a breath in, then exhale, bend your knees to send your hips up into the air, our shortcut to downward facing dog. And just feel how the chest and head naturally sink between the arms. Make any adjustments with your feet, even your hands on your mat to help you settle into the pose. Now you're welcome just to be here, hold the posture, or add movement through the body, maybe pressing one heel down, there you go, as the other heel lifts, like you're doing a walking sensation or pedaling a bicycle. At any point, you can always rest if you need to, coming down to your knees. You can stay there and do cat-cow, just flowing through the spine, or even resting in child's pose. Taking a nice full breath in, getting ready to move. As you exhale, draw belly button in, then bend your knees so you can walk, step, or hop. Both feet returning to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. There you go. Inhale, rising up halfway. Our flat back tabletop position. Exhale, refold, or just partially down if that feels better. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way up, reach high. Let's exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana. A high seat is fine. You can sit down and back a little deeper if it feels okay. We're just going to keep it moving. Breathe in. Exhale, dive out of your seat, back down towards toes. Forward fold. Move at your own pace. Inhale, rise up halfway. Monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Plant your hands into the earth. Hop or step the feet back into plank pose. Let's get that same energy here. Pressing palms firmly into the mat like you're pushing yourself away from the floor. Strong, straight arms. You can take that same shortcut to down dog with your exhale here, or finish your push-up. Chaturanga Dandasana, you might even bring knees to the floor first, then lower the chest. Your back bend can be a low back bend like cobra. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Making any adjustments with your feet and hands once you arrived in your pose. We'll continue. Let's start by extending the right leg up into the air. Inhale to create that extension. Then exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. You'll land behind the right hand. Good. Turn your left heel to the floor behind you. Be sure to shift your weight back into that foot. Yes, so you can find your center of gravity. Hands are light, so you can easily hinge from hips. There it is. Rising up. There's our warrior one. Still moving. Just going to close the lid of our box. Folding to bring hands back down to the floor. Just pull or slide that foot back. There's plank. Finishing your sequence as you'd like. Again, Chaturanga Dandasana. That's the bottom of the push-up. If you're moving through that full vinyasa, you can inhale to an upward facing dog or a lower back bend. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Once you're in down dog, we'll start with the other side. And inhale, extend left leg up into the air. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Behind left hand. We'll turn right heel to the floor. Find that good center. Stable body. Reach forward, hinge from hips. Inhale, rising up. Nice opening up through the heart. And exhale, hinge and fold. Make your way back down. Hands to the floor. We'll slide left foot back, plank pose. And again, just complete the series as you'd like. Always okay to just move through that shortcut, moving directly into downward facing dog. So just moving through our sun salutes here, moving with breath, just warming up the body. Let's make our way down to the floor. Just kneel down gently, sit back briefly in hero, and then sit off to the side so you can swing the legs around to the front. And go ahead and roll down onto your back. We'll move into our bridge pose from here. Once you're on your back, go ahead and draw your knees into chest. Add some movement here if it feels good. Maybe just a little circle with the feet, getting into the ankle joints. Even flex the feet, point your toes. If you can, wiggle your toes. And even do the same with your wrists here. Just free up your hands. You might circle the wrists, wiggle your fingers, flex, do a counter movement. And whenever you're ready, we'll plant the feet into the ground, ready for our bridge pose. Good connection to the ground. When you're ready, nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. You can exhale through the mouth. Perhaps you can feel the air leave your belly, engage your center, and then peel away from the floor. So hips are rising. Even just a little rise is fine for this pose, but as you're able, just lifting up, even getting your shoulders and arms a bit underneath you, just to create a little bit more opening sensation in the upper body. To support the upper body, you might bend your elbows so your arms are at 90 degrees, so you can press down into the floor just to create more of that stable sensation. Deep breaths here. Notice the sensations you're creating in your body. Feet rooted into the earth. You might feel your hamstrings engage, your glutes, thighs. Nice opening through the whole front body. One more breath. And then maybe wiggle the feet forward a little bit to make space in your low half, and then extend your arms up into the air to release and open the upper half, and then roll your way down to the ground. Go ahead and extend the arms behind you, legs out front. Good stretch here. Let's stay on the floor and do half happy baby pose. Let's draw the right knee into chest. Just go ahead and catch it in your hands. Maybe a light flex of the foot. Now if you just took the knee and just pulling straight up towards chest, it'll kind of stop. But if we take it out to the side a little bit and then up towards shoulder, it will go a little bit further. You can just stay like this. This is a wonderful stretch. You can just keep it like this, or go ahead and kick that right foot into the air, and as you're able, hold on to the bottom of the foot with your right hand. If you can't reach the sole of the foot, you can just hold on to your ankle or somewhere along the leg. And so you feel and see that the knee is kind of pointing out at an angle outside the body. Gently pressing, not forcefully pressing, but a gentle press, as if the knee is moving right down to the earth. And just notice what's happening in that right leg. A couple more breaths here. And after your second breath, we'll go ahead and release the foot and allow the leg to re-extend out onto the floor. Just hold here in a Shavasana for a moment. Let everything relax, let go, release. Take a breath. We'll do our half happy baby pose on the other side. So we'll draw the left knee in. Again, maybe drawing it straight up towards chest, and you can just notice how it just naturally stops. And then out to the side slightly. So you're drawing it up more towards shoulder. Hold here if you'd like, or take foot so it's facing the ceiling, holding on to the sole of the foot or ankle, gently pressing down. Just enough where you can feel the stretch or release sensation on that left side. Deep breaths. Yeah, perfectly fine to kind of add some movement there. You might even try to maybe lightly extend that leg, or just kind of move that leg in its socket a little bit. One more breath. And go ahead and release it. Same thing. Let's release that leg entirely onto the floor. Return to that Shavasana moment. So everything releases, disengages. Now we'll go ahead and draw both knees into chest. We'll rock forward and back to rock ourselves up to seated so we can come to boat pose. Nice extension of the spine, so you might even hold on to the backs of the legs to find that extension, leaning back so we have that angled upper body, finding that balance, so maybe being able to lift the feet, but of course you can do this with feet on the floor. This still works. Even just leaning back a little bit will create that tension. So focusing on core, since we're going to be doing some arm balancing, we do have to rely quite a bit on our core for that stabilization and the lengthening of the spine. Yes. Let's move from here. Take a breath in. Exhale, we'll cross legs, hands in front to hop back, or hands to the side and just swing the feet back or step back into plank pose. Same strong upper body, but be aware of your midsection, your legs. So if your hips feel like they're sinking, just lift the hips a little higher. Strong legs, even feel your hamstrings and calves like they're lifting up towards the sky. Take a shortcut to down dog from here. Bend your knees, send your hips into the air. Let's continue with our lunge sequence. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Hold for a moment. First, feel the length of the body, and then let's open the hips. We'll bend your right knee, bring your heel down towards your backside. You've got it. A little lift of the knee. You can hold there. Even add movement if you want. It could be just your foot and ankle, okay? Or draw a circle in the air with your knee, getting into that hip socket there. Yes. Just to release and open up a little bit more. Just complementing what you just did in that half happy baby pose. Go ahead and finish at the top. We're going to inhale here, then exhale to unwind so you can step through for warrior one. Set it up. Left heel to the floor behind you, finding your center and balance. Light hand so we can rise up. There it is. Then our exhale opening to the side of the room. There's our warrior two. Arms come down to parallel. Perfect. Adjusting the feet. Nice strong foundation. Outstretched arms. Very strong. Side angle, reaching out. Follow the right arm a bit. Forward to angle. And then rotate your arms. Just reach down with the right hand while left hand reaches up. Think of this also as an opening up through the heart space. Yes. Nice ranges of motion here, knowing that you can stay up high in the pose, or maybe you're low enough to touch the ground. Let's take a breath in, ready to move. Exhale, we'll turn and fold. Bring the hands to the floor, step back into plank pose. Hold for a moment. For this one, instead of just the shortcut to down dog, do a partial push-up where you might bend the elbows. You might even let them point out a little bit. Go down a little bit. You don't have to go down too far. And then just push away into down dog. So a little push-up motion and right into down dog. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. Nice extension. And then opening the hip by bending the knee. Heel comes down, a little lift of the knee. Stay there or add movement. Yeah, a little movement in the ankle. A little circle there, or a big circle or a small circle of the knee in the air. Getting into that hip socket. Yes. Nice mobility. Go ahead and finish at the top. You'll take a breath in. Your exhale will move you forward, stepping left foot to the top of the mat, right heel to the earth, finding your center, light hand so you can rise up into your first warrior. Exhale, opening to the side of the room. There's our warrior two, adjusting the feet. It's maybe slightly wider in the stance. Here comes side angle, reaching out. Tip it over, stay up high if you want to. Now this left hand or left arm could even rest lightly on the thigh, while right hand's reaching straight up or even over your head if you'd like, just to get a little bit more length through the right side of your body. Be sure you're breathing. Feel the energy of the foundation of the feet, strong legs holding you in this lunge. Let's breathe in. And exhale, we'll return to the earth. We'll turn and fold, hands down to the mat. Let's do that same thing, a partial push-up. Just a little bend of elbows, lowering the chest a little, and then just push away, downward facing dog. Breathing in, once you're in down dog, exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. There's our forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, so we can fold back again, down towards toes. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up nice and tall, reach up high. And exhale, just arms down to your side. Finishing with that nice flow, a good warm up. Good, keep checking in. Yep, notice how you're feeling. All right, some balance. We're going to be balancing on our hands, but let's balance on one foot. Okay, so tree pose. Let's soften the knees a bit. Start shifting weight into your right foot. Nice, strong, supportive leg. Inhale, tall, lengthened spine. Fill up the lungs. Exhale through the mouth. Engage your core. Now, lifting up that left foot, maybe flexing the foot. Maybe thigh to parallel is fine. And then swing the knee out to the side. A little bit is fine. Doesn't have to go all the way. And then foot to the inner leg. Even if you need to use the floor, that's fine. Calf or inner thigh. I want to use the floor today. Okay, nice and tall. Go ahead and inhale, extend the arms up into the air. Now they might go straight up. You might take them out like a V. Feel free to even bend elbows a little or a lot. Just active hands. Feel tall, lifting. Focus is forward, or just drop the eyes towards the floor so you can focus on maybe a line on the floor. Yes, holding for a tiny bit longer. Keeping the arms as they are, we'll swing the left knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot, yes. Plant the foot into the earth, and the arms can rest down by your side. Shake all that loose, shoulders, hands, right down to the feet, yeah. Okay. Turning to our mountain pose, balanced on 2 feet with soft knees. Shifting weight into your left foot, there's our strong foundation. Let's get tall, inhale. Fill up the lungs, exhale, connect to center. Now we're ready, picking up right foot, flex it. Strong leg here, swing the knee out. Partial is fine, okay, or a little bit more if you're able. Placing foot on the inside of the standing leg, high, medium, or low. I'm gonna take the low version again. Still tall in the torso. Inhale, reaching up, feeling even taller and longer in the torso perhaps. Feel free to bend elbows, keep the fingers active. Focus forward, just making sure the head and neck are long, but the eyes might drop, and that's fine. Focusing on something out in front of you, like the baseboard or an outlet on the floor, on the wall. There you go. Keep the arms as they are. We'll swing the right knee forward now, lifting knee, flexed foot. We'll plant the foot into the earth, rebalance, and the arms back down to your side. And shake it all loose. All right, let's keep it moving. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Soft knees. Releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, re-extend spine. Really feel that extension as best as you can. Here we go on the fold. On the exhale, bend the knees. Plant the hands. Hop or step back, plank pose. Full Chaturanga Dandasana as you're able, or any other flow. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or that partial push-up to downward facing dogs. You have more options. Upward facing dog if you're going through that full vinyasa there, and of course we'll all meet in downward facing. Keeping it going, we'll inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reach, bend and twist. Okay. Now we're going to unwind, and as you exhale, you bring right knee to right elbow, just straight ahead, right knee, right elbow. Okay. And then take it back up into the sky, straight line. Hold for a moment to feel the energy in the body. Inhale again. Okay, exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Let's go to a high lunge this time. So left heel stays lifted. We are still shifting the weight back to center. We want to have light hands so they easily lift away from the earth. Let's hold here, knowing that this too, I believe, is a balancing pose because that back heel is not on the ground. So feel that movement towards midline. We always do it with our belly, pull in, but do that with the legs as well. Squeeze in. Okay, remember these cues because they're going to help us with our crow pose. Okay, we're going to lift up here, straighten the legs, pivot left heel to the floor, turning sideways. Arms come down to parallel. Let's move right into triangle pose. So the right knee straight as can be with a slight softness in the knee. That's fine. But triangle pose, reaching out, tip it over. Just a little bit more extension throughout the entire bodies. Coming out of the pose, we'll bend the right knee to give us leverage so we can come back up, pass through warrior two, and reverse your warrior. So right hand is up into the air. What to do with the left hand? It might just rest down on your left leg. You might even place left hand on left hip. or wear it like a belt. Yeah, just wrap it around your body. There you go. Nice extension into the air with this right hand. Nice lunge through the right knee. And then we cartwheel or big windmill out of the pose. Down to the floor with both hands, step back, plank pose. Choose the way you want to get to down dog. Maybe that partial push-up, or finish the push-up entirely to Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog or a cobra pose, meeting in down dog. So left side will extend in the left leg up with an inhale, bend and twist. With an exhale, we're going to unwind and bring left knee towards left elbow. Doesn't have to touch the elbow, just coming forward in that direction, then right back up into the sky, left leg reach, and then left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Landing, if the weight is really forward, you need to pull the body weight back. Hands are light, we can rise, and then finding your center by hugging to midline. Core, of course, with an exhale. Legs, squeezing an imaginary block between the knees, even though the knees are separated. Yes, I'm going to feel energy here. Okay, rising up to straighten the legs a bit so you can pivot right heel to the floor. You'll turn sideways, arms down to parallel, prepped for triangle. We'll reach out over that left leg and then tip it over. Modify this if you need to. Yes, so the hand, your left hand, might be at your knee or upper thigh. It might be at your shin or ankle. You want to still be able to breathe. Nice fluidity throughout the body. Good. Coming out of the pose, let's bend the left knee for leverage. Passing through our warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Left hand reaching up. Again, right arm might just rest at your side. Hand on hip, or wear your right arm like a belt around you. Nice extension through left hand. Nice lunge. And we'll windmill out of the pose, all the way around and down to the floor. Hands in front, step back, plank. Again, finishing the sequence as you'd like. Good. Finishing in downward facing dog. Once there, just a breath. And then come down to hero pose, just knees to the floor, sitting back. If that's uncomfortable, just take a regular seat. Okay. Pretty much the same sequence there. I'm going to take my left leg into the sky, straight line. Nice opening here, a little twist, but a nice hip opener. And that knee to elbow, we're going to hold it though. So watch how I unwind and kind of come forward. So my shoulders are starting to shift so they're over the wrists, and that knee comes in. Knee doesn't have to touch the elbow. But what happens is your back might be rounded, that's fine. But if you can, once you're somewhere in this range, look forward. Okay? To help you extend spine like you're going somewhere. It will put a little bit more pressure in the hands. Okay? And then we're going to take this back up. So we're going to hold that a little bit longer. Same series here to our high lunge. Find your center. We're going to rise up. Okay, triangle setup. Here, just something a little different. We'll do this. Reversing our warrior. We're going to take this into a deep lunge. Bring the hands all the way around to the inside of the foot. Make some space. Let me face you for a second here, because what will happen is the hand will probably be right next to the foot, and kind of like how we did that half happy baby pose, I had you take that knee out to the side. It's the same effect, kind of turned out at an angle. It just gives you more room. So you can go a little deeper, okay? So you're just going to do a little push-up, just bend the elbows and hold. You can certainly bring this back knee to the floor. We're not going to hold here too long. A little bend of elbows, really get into the triceps here. And then we'll set that knee down, come to hands and knees. Well, that's part of our sequence. All right, I'll walk you through it. So downward facing dog. Yes. Moving at your own pace. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. Nice rotation through the spine as our hip opener. And then right knee towards right elbow. Shifting forward so your shoulders are kind of over the wrists. Then look forward. Yeah, as if you're trying to come forward. Yes, lengthening. There's your strength right there. Back to our down dog. push, extend, lengthen, nice. Right foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Excellent work there. So really getting the upper body work here. Rising up to high lunge, hug to midline, shoot up to straighten the legs, pivot left heel to the floor, you'll turn sideways, prepped for triangle. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our triangle pose. We're not going to be here long, we're just getting into these poses. We've already been introduced to them. Reverse the warrior. Start by bending the right knee for leverage. Here we go. Reaching right hand up, maybe slightly behind, and going into that deep lunge. Big windmill. Hands to the floor on the inside of your right foot. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. Now again, you might need to heel toe that right foot out quite a bit. Turn the toes out and the right knee is pointing out. So there's some good space. Again, look forward like we did a little earlier, looking forward, and then bend elbows just a tiny bit like you're doing that partial push-up, just coming down. That back leg, you can keep it up and straight or even set knee onto the floor. One more breath. Go ahead and set the left knee onto the floor if you haven't already. Lean over to the left side so we can bring this right foot back, hands and knees, and we'll meet here. Just align the body a bit. Take 2 breaths, cat and cow, just for some realignment. You can pause in this neutral tabletop posture. Set yourself up for down dog. What I like to do is take my hands forward a little bit, just a little bit. Tuck toes, maybe get into a nice cat pose, and then lift the knees, lift the hips, extend the spine. It kind of sits, put you in a nice down dog position. Other side, inhale, extend left leg up and away. Bend and twist for the hip opener. Good. We're going to unwind for left knee towards left elbow, shoulders over wrists, pausing in place. Look forward to help you extend spine. Yeah, the hips might want to sink there, but if you can lift the hips a little bit, there you go. That's your core connection. Back to down dog. Re-extend the left leg straight up and away. Left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Once landed, find center. Once you've got that, then rise. Take your time, rising up. Once you're nice and tall, shoot up to straighten the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways, arms to parallel. Here's our triangle setup. Let's take it. Reach out, tip it over. Yep. Just a nice opening of the body. Good. Reverse the warrior. Bend the knee for leverage. Coming up. Left hand into the sky. Nice extension through the left side. And our windmill out of the pose. So the hands will come down to the floor on the inside of the left foot. Rise up on the tiptoes behind you. Heel toe that left foot way out to the left side. Toes and knee are pointing outwards. So you have that space. Look forward to extend spine. Even lift hips slightly, but bend elbows. A little partial push-up. Hold. Setting right knee onto the floor. Okay. And then we'll shift the weight back a bit. Lean to the right so we can bring that left leg behind us here, hands and knees. Cat, cow. Do one more. And once again, just sit back into hero pose or regular seat if that feels better. Alrighty, so we're getting our upper body work, finding and experiencing the extended spine. All right, let's get a little bit more into the hips. So we're going to move into our yogi squat. If you need a block, you can have a block nearby for this. Let me just quickly demo. So our down dog. So we're hopping forward. We're going to land with the feet wide. It's the same concept. Land with feet wide, knees and feet turned out. Okay, that nice space so we can drop the hips. Maybe it's here for you. Okay, if you can get lower, go lower. Don't worry if the feet are not flat on the floor. If your feet are closer and the heels are lifted, that's fine. Okay, if you need more balance, bring a block in to sit on behind you. Okay, or hands out in front, or both for a little bit more balance. But we're just going for this kind of this frog leg, frog seat like this, our yogi squat. But as you're able, we want to extend the spine, just as I had you do in those lunges. Get tall, well lifted. Okay? What might help is actually bracing the arms against the inner legs, push out to extend, and then bring hands to heart. But always use the floor if you need it. And this will start our setup towards our crow pose. And what we'll do, I'll say present your hands and put the hands on the floor, but kind of out in front of you. So you have this angled arm, not directly underneath you, but somewhere out in front of you. And you'll kind of lean into the hands. Rise up onto tiptoes if you're not there already. This is where those elbows are going to point out or bend. And maybe just lean. You'll feel the weight of your legs just on the arms, and extend the spine. This could be your crow pose today, and we'll all do this. We'll all do this at first. Okay, so let's return to a down dog. Have a block nearby if you need that block for a little bench to sit on. Okay, so whenever you're ready, a good exhale to hop forward, landing with feet wide, toes and knees turned out, lowering the hips. Okay. Now you might be more like in a football huddle, and that's fine because you can still do the workings here. If you're here nice and high, this is fine. If you can, get the arms against the legs, pushing them out. Maybe fingertips are on the floor, and you're extending the spine. So maybe this is your pose. Okay, or you maybe have found the deep seat, using the block for a little bench. Hands to prayer if you're able to balance. Pushing out. Leverage to extend spine. Okay, so it's the same idea like every other pose we do. Inhale for the length, exhale, pull belly in. Let's present the hands. Place the hands on the floor kind of out in front of you so you can kind of fall into the hands. Let the elbows bend. The legs will just kind of rest heavily against the backs of the arms. And then just look forward. Okay, this is maybe rise up onto tiptoes. Just lift the heels a little bit. That's our initial stage of crow. Yes. 2 breaths, and this could be the final stage of crow for you today. This is fine. Okay, let's come back down to the earth. Okay. Maybe get the knees behind us again onto the earth, onto the floor. Cat, cow. Get some good undulation through the spine, that nice mobility in the hips again. And return to a downward facing dog. I'm just going to come back up to a standing posture. Okay, once in down dog, breathe in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, elongate through your spine, monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Good. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. We'll come up, reach nice and high, big stretch, and then arms out to the side. Just relax there for a moment. So I'm thinking for this transition, just so we can just still be mindful of our leg, okay, and this movement here, okay, getting more into our hips. That's exactly what we'll do. Just watch. Okay, I'm just going to have my arms at my side. Basically just coming to a tree pose. Just watch. I'm bringing my knee up. Do have your arms first. Knee up, out to the side. Just place. We'll get the arms up into the air. So we'll come to a tree. Okay, release that foot from the tree. Bring it down, up and around. We're going to step back. So tree, release, just kind of dropping there so we can bring that knee up and around. We're going to step back into a warrior one so you can get that foot planted into the ground. So tree pose to start. Soft knee, shifting weight into the right foot. We're nice and tall. That's our breath in, exhaling. We're lifting left foot, swing it out, and plug it in for our tree. Extend the arms into the air. Good lift, good reach. Okay, we're pulling the foot away, kind of dropping it a little bit. Maybe turning that knee forward, lift knee forward, up and around, and back. Into your warrior one. Hold. Breathe in. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Okay, side angle. Hold side angle for a moment. We're going to return to that deep lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, turn so you can bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Same thing. We're going to heel toe that right foot out. Elongate through spine, lifting hips a little bit, bend elbows like you're doing a little push-up, maybe a little lower. hold. Good, we're staying on the hands here. Pushing into the floor to straighten the arms. Going to slide that right foot back to meet the other. Just take a shortcut to down dog. Nice full breath in. Exhale, bend knees, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Same thing, forward fold. Monkey pose, lifting up halfway and fold. Good. Weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Coming up. Exhale, arms down to your side. If you need to, just kind of shake things loose and get set for tree pose on the other. Soft knees when you're ready. Here's our weight shift into left foot. Tall spine, core engaged. We're picking up right foot, swinging out. It's our tree pose. And arms in the air. Get that nice extension and lift. Let's remove the foot, kind of dropping there. Turn the knee forward, lift. Up a little higher, around and back. Warrior one. Hold. Breathe in, reach. Exhale, warrior two. Adjust the feet, side angle, coming forward and down. Good extension, nice heart opening. And then that deep lunge, breathe in. Exhale, we'll turn, plant the hands on the floor, but on the inside there, you've got it. Moving that left foot way out. Okay, pushing into the floor, straight arms. Look forward to straighten the spine. Lift your hips so you're not sinking there, yeah? Then bend elbows. Okay? So you're creating this balance so that it feels like your back end is lifting while the lower or the upper half is kind of going down a little bit. Yeah. So that's kind of what happens in crow. Nice holding, good job, good strength. All right, straightening the arms, push away, and slide that left foot back, plank pose. Take a shortcut if you want, or maybe chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Okay, and then rest. Come to a seat. You can just kneel down for hero, or take a regular seat. Now, optional, just in case you feel like you might topple over, maybe just something soft out in front of you as we get ready for our crow pose. We're going to set it up the same. We're going to start in our down dog, come to our yogi squat. Hopping forward, feet out wide, etc. And we're here using that block to sit on. You can even bring the block around front for a head support here too, if you need it. So same setup here. Here's our yogi squat. I'm pushing because I want to feel that extended spine, because I want to recreate that once I'm in my crow pose. Hands on the mat, not on your blanket, okay? Way out front, lean, rising up on tiptoes. This could be the end. Be aware if you're rounded, extend. Now the thing is just really just finding that balance, shifting forward. I'm just pushing through my toes and continuing to go forward. As I was saying earlier, the hips have to lift, head goes down. That will help you find that balance. Maybe you get onto the very tips of your toes. Maybe you can lift one foot, set it down. Lift the other foot, set it down. Core is engaged. Okay, so my elbows are pretty bent. Legs are just resting. They're pretty heavy on the legs, or so on the arms. Even though the elbows are pointing out, okay? The legs on top, they're slightly hugging you in, if that makes sense. Just like we do in those high lunges. I have you hug in, so you maintain that center and strength. It's the same thing with our crow, because if you feel like you're bowing out, you're just gonna fall. So there's a squeezing in sensation. I'm pulling my arms in, even though the elbows are pointing out slightly. All right, let's just play with this. Okay, downward facing dog. That's our landing pad if you need it. Block to sit on, or even a head rest. Okay, down dog. We're going to our yogi squat. Hop forward, landing with feet and knees outward, pointing outward. Even if you're already on tiptoes, that's fine. Lowering the hips to a comfortable place. Arms are in the inner legs, pushing out slightly, maybe hands at prayer, extending spine. Recreating this eventually in your crow. Present your hands onto the floor. Make sure they're on the floor, not your blanket. Lean, lift heels. Already extending spine, just lift the head. Feel the core engagement. Maybe pushing forward a little bit more. We're finding and testing that balance. So hips might feel like they're starting to lift, head is going down, but the spine, as best you can, is still lengthened. Elbows really bent, okay, or bent enough so the legs, yeah, they'll rest right on your arms. You've got it, but they're squeezing to hug them in. Okay, if you get far enough forward, you might be able to balance right on the tips of your toes, or far enough where one foot, maybe then the other, and maybe both can lift. Good job. Rest if you need to, no worries. Okay, then step back into plank pose. Finish a flow to down dog. You can go through chaturanga to get there, or just your shortcut. Yeah, take a rest if you need to, that's fine. Actually, let's all do that. Come to a child's pose so you can get off your hands. Okay, or sit up in hero so you can give some relief to your wrists. That's certainly a lot of pressure on the wrist, but you all are there. I really love the attention you're giving to your own bodies and the awareness of your own bodies, of shifting forward a little bit, finding that extended spine, core engagement, that's breath. Just tipping the head up a little helps that spinal extension. Okay? Getting up on those tippy toes. And maybe eventually balancing on the hands. Okay, whenever you feel ready, we're just going to do it again. Same thing from down dog. Downward facing dog. You can go when you're ready to go. That same movement, and exhale to hop forward, landing with feet wide, toes turned out. Take your yogi squat. Take the squat. Go ahead and take that movement so you can remind the body of the extended spine. Bracing the legs against the arms, arms against the legs, core engagement. And then present the hands on the floor out in front of you. Rise up onto tiptoes, lean. Okay, push forward, extend spine, look forward a bit. Okay, check in. Okay, are the legs high enough on the arms? If they're too low by elbows, you might have a problem, okay? So if you can get the legs a little higher up on triceps, closer to the shoulders, not way up on shoulders, just closer to the shoulders, as opposed to the elbows, you have more surface area to work with. Lean forward, extended spine, lift hips, lower the head. Good, yes. There you go, that's it. Hop or just step back, plank pose. Okay. Finishing a flow, meet in down dog, and then one more child's pose for the rest, or a hero to rest your wrists. Okay. That's all we'll do with those. Very nice work with those. So take some time in a restful position. Good. Child's pose, hero. Some of you doing crocodile. There you go. No rush. You take a few more breaths in your child's pose, but eventually you're just going to maneuver your body so you're on your back. So whenever you're finished from child's pose, just rising up, sit off to the side. The legs out in front of you, sit in the center of your mat. And roll down onto the back. Just hug the knees in and just continue this resting moment. Maybe a little massage here. Checking with the feet and ankles, certainly your wrists. Let's do a regular happy baby pose. You might lightly flex the feet, take the knees wide. You can stay here for the pose or kick the feet up, grab hold of the ankles or the soles of the feet. That same gentle press, it's almost just gravity really, just the weight of the body being drawn down towards the earth. Deep breaths. I like to add a little rocking sensation just to get into those hips a little bit. A little massage for the back. And then reclining cobbler's pose. Let's do the traditional version where you bring the soles of the feet together and hold onto the feet with your hands. So toes are pointing upward, heels towards your pelvis, and just a gentle press down, heels towards the pelvis. Meanwhile, the knees feel like they're trying to push directly forward towards the front corners of your mat, just to open up the hips there. It's a more traditional way of doing this pose. Then we'll take that relaxed version where we keep the feet touching, but just set the feet onto the floor. Knees just naturally fall open. About 3 more breaths in your hip openers. Or longer if you need more time. But whenever you feel complete with the hip openers, go ahead and bring the knees back up towards the body and get set up for a twist, a spinal twist. You can start by taking both knees over to the left side, extending your right arm out to the right side. Two more breaths. When you feel complete, slowly make your way up to center. Just hold center here for a moment, allowing the spine to realign after that first rotation. And then carefully take the knees over to the right side and extend your left arm to the left. Two more breaths. When you're ready, once again, just returning to center. Just hug the knees into the body and even take a moment to decide what you would like to do next. If there's any other pose you'd like to add here, or even repeat any poses you've done already, you can just add them again. Or if you feel complete with your movements, go ahead and move into your restorative posture. Of course, that might be Shavasana. Could be any other relaxing pose. Just as long as you feel relaxed and comfortable, you can feel a disengagement of your muscles. You can breathe with ease. Stay right where you are. No need to move just yet. Just a simple return to your breath. Return to the present moment. Very common for our brains just to kind of wander away, having us think of other things. So just take a nice full breath in and out, just to draw your attention back to you, back to this moment. Once again, return to the awareness of your breath. Notice your breathing. Notice how you feel. Take a breath just to acknowledge your practice today. This dynamic flow, shifting you to practice an arm balancing posture, crow pose. And now with this awareness on your breath, take 5 slow, steady breaths with the intention of bringing movement and energy back into your body. Having taken this simple and short resting moment, but carry this feeling with you. This dynamic of the yoga practice of getting the body in motion, engaging, fully aware, and then taking this important restful moment. Again, feeling movement begin to return to your body. When you feel ready, slowly and carefully roll to one side. And slowly rising to seated. And just as we focused on in our practice, finding the extended spine, feeling tall in your seat. And feel free just to keep your hands in your lap or on your knees, or bring hands to heart center. And just take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.